Hello, this is Miss Sarah, and welcome back to another week of Tech Kids. In this final installment of the program, we're going to look at a few ways that video game technology works. There are many examples of this, but I've selected just a few that I hope you'll find interesting, as interesting I found them. So to start out with the reflection, I would like you to think of a few favorite video games you might have. Why do you like those games so much? Do you enjoy them for their difficulty or because you're invested in the story? There are all sorts of reasons. So just think about that and write that down. So the first thing I would like to talk about is a little bit about how programming in video games can work. So NPCs are characters in a game that are unplayable by you, but serve some kind of purpose. So this can mean they can fight you or be aggressive, help you out, sell you items, and many other things, or simply filling a town's population or giving out dialogue. And out of curiosity, how many of these NPCs that I picture here do you recognize? Because these are all games that I personally love, and I know a lot of people do too. So to better understand how NPCs work, I figured we could take a look at a game that we're all familiar with, Pac-Man. In Pac-Man, the four ghosts that chase you are all NPCs, because you can't play them, can you? But did you know that each one works a little bit differently? When the developers programmed this game, they wanted each ghost to have a unique style. So this would make the game more complex and interesting. And as we talk about these ghosts, remember that every NPC and every video game is kind of like this. They exist to carry out some kind of function, and the developers have to make it so they carry out a function or do certain thing. So Blinky, the red one, is always going to follow Pac-Man directly. He always goes straight for him. So he's always just chasing you directly. Pinky, the pink one, will always try to go in front of Pac-Man and cut him off. So as you can see in the picture, he's trying to get where Pac-Man is before Pac-Man does. So he tries to trap Pac-Man. Inky, the cyan or blue one, is a little more complicated, and I'll be honest, I had some trouble with it at first. He always tries to go where Blinky, the red one, is going, so that Pac-Man is being targeted in two separate directions. So wherever he sees that Blinky is going, he will try to get there too. And last, Clyde, the orange one, is kind of a coward. He just runs away and avoids Pac-Man. So usually if you run into him, it's because you've just happened to run into him. He will run away from you. And with all that being said, here is a quick video just to explain a little more in depth about how that works if you are curious, because I definitely found it interesting and I wanted to share it with you. And that being said, I do have a bit of a fun activity for you. Did you know you could actually play Pac-Man just by Googling it? Google Pac-Man Doodle on Google and play for a little while. So now that you know that each ghost works differently, can you notice the patterns as you play? Can you notice how they each will try to approach you? And does this change the game experience for you, knowing a little more detail beyond what you knew before? I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. With that being said, let's talk about just a couple ways that video games have evolved in recent years. So first, let's talk about something that you're all probably familiar with. Have you ever played Pokemon Go? If so, you're already familiar with augmented reality. AR appears to change things in the real world. So the way it works is really very simple. Your camera on your phone recognizes an area around you when you load Pokemon Go, and then it inserts a digital object, or let's say Pikachu, for example, is going to be inserted in that spot as soon as your camera knows what's going on. AR is also what's used for Snapchat filters. It's exactly the same idea. So while it's a simple idea, it's really cool. And again, Pokemon Go is an AR game. To better explain AR, I also have another quick video that you can watch about how Pokemon Go specifically works. And now for another quick activity that will involve just a bit of Googling, but it should be fun. Using a phone or tablet, search on Google for one of the following animals that I have listed here. Just pick one, any of them will work. You should see an option to quote unquote meet a life size blank up close, like a life size tiger. Select the view in 3D option, follow the rules that Google gives you, and have some fun with AR animals. It'll actually give you a life-size version of the animal on your phone, so an AR version of that. So you can have fun playing with AR right from home just by Googling for it. And our last topic for today is virtual reality, a sibling of augmented reality. So while AR puts things in the real world, VR transports you to a whole new world. Using a headset like an Oculus Rift, a Google Cardboard, or Nintendo Labo, you can experience things that you couldn't in real life. The headset uses two LCD displays that take you to a new world. So you may think you're in a spaceship or under the ocean when really you might be about to bump into the kitchen table. So on this topic, here's a quick video that just explains a little bit about that as well. And one last reflection. In a VR setting, you can be immersed in any landscape or world. You can go into the ocean, fly through space, climb to Mount Everest, all from the safety of your home, for example. There are so many possibilities. So, if you could have any VR experience, what would you want it to be? Because just about anything is possible in VR and it's evolving and changing, and maybe by the time you guys are older, it will be fully fleshed out. That's exciting, isn't it? So, with all these things in mind, tune in on Thursday, December 17th at 4:30 p.m. for our live session. Bring all your thoughts and questions about the topics I've talked about, and feel free to bring in some new thoughts too, because video games are really interesting. I know they are to young people. So, I look forward to seeing you there, and that's it for now. Bye.